Hello there, we are Group 3. In this video, we would like to deliver about several topics, and I am Satria Nur Firmanda. Student number 027 would be delivering about the first topic, which is the phonological processes. So, what is phonological processes? Phonological processes are patterns that people use, or usually children, to simplify a speech. They specify whether to add, delete, or change the element in the real form of a word to a form that is easier to pronounce. For example, children use this process while their speech and language are still developing. When the adult says the word banana, the child usually drops the first syllable, the syllable ba, and only pronounce the last two syllables, nana. So when the adult says banana, the child says nana to simplify the pronunciation. The another example is in the word cat. Cat. The adult is able to say cat, but the child is not able to make the sound K yet. So they change the sound K into the sound T, and the word becomes tat. So when the adult pronounce the word cat, the child pronounce it as tat. Cat, tat. There are two processes in the phonological processes. First is the obligatory phonological process, and the second is the optional phonological process. And the obligatory phonological process would be explained by my friend Andira.
Hello, my name is Andira Adivitria. My student number is 22. So I would like to explain about the obligatory phonological process. Obligatory phonological process is a rule that most native speakers of a specific language apply to make a string of phonetic units easier to pronounce and perceive. It is usually done subconsciously by the native speaker. Obligatory phonological process includes assimilation. Assimilation itself is the process of making a sound more like another in the same or the next word in continuous utterance. It usually occurs because two sounds share common features in place or manner. However, assimilation varies according to speaking rate and style, and it's more likely to be found in rapid and casual speech rather than in slow and careful speech. Moreover, it occurs either across word boundaries or within a word. So there are three types of assimilation. The first one is assimilation of manner, assimilation of voice, and the last one is the assimilation of place. Now let's discuss about the assimilation of manner. Assimilation of manner refers to two neighboring sounds becoming similar in their manner of articulation. It is much less noticeable compared to the other type of assimilation process. Thus, assimilation of manner can be possibly found where a final plosive or stop becomes a fricative or nasal sound. This commonly occurs across word boundaries. Let's take an example. In a rapid speech, usually native speakers say the word that side to become the side, that side. So the plosive th becomes fricative s, so it is pronounced the side, the side. Another example is the word good night. In a rapid speech, usually native speaker says good night, good night. The plosive t becomes nasal n, so it is not good night, but it's good night, good night, because it is much easier to pronounce that way. It can also occur within a word. It usually involves a change in a single feature, oral or nasal. For example, the sound "eh", which is not usually nasalized, then becomes nasalized. Let's compare the word cat and can. The sound "eh" in cat is not nasalized. Meanwhile, in can, the "s" sound is influenced by the nasal sound "n" due to the manner of articulation. Now let's move to the assimilation of voice that would be explained by my friend. Thank you.
So, I would like to continue Andira's explanation about voice assimilation. Assimilation of voice happens when a cluster of two consonants differing in voicing. The second consonant has to agree in voicing with the preceding one. And voice assimilation divided into two. There are voiced and devoiced. The first one is voiced. In certain contexts, a speaker may automatically choose a voiced sound to follow another voiced sound and vice versa. The English plural rules show this. We should automatically pluralize the word cap as caps. The voiceless consonant P is followed by voiceless consonant S. For the example, cap as caps, palm as palms, and zoo as zoos. In these cases, a voiced sound is followed by a voiced variant of the plural. The second one is devoiced. Sounds such as the liquids L, and W, which are usually voiced in English, may be devoiced in certain phonetics contexts. Those contexts occur when the liquids or glide follow a voiceless stop or fricative in the same syllable. A P added to lay is pronounced as play. The example is ray but pray, win but twin, and then right but fright. Okay, that's all about my explanation. Continue to the next explanation.
Okay, Andira and Nada have explained about manner and voice assimilations, that there are two types of assimilations. So the next one is place of assimilations. That is, the sound that produced when adjacent sounds are made to agree in their place of articulations. Or in other words, when two sounds come together and change or melt into a new sound. There are three types of assimilations. The first one is assimilation to bilabial place. It happened when alveolar T, T, and become bilabial if followed by bilabial consonant, that is P, P, W, and N. For instance, impatient. The bilabial M is followed by P, which is also bilabial, so the sound is impatient. And then the second types of assimilation is assimilation of alveolar place. For instance, intangible. The alveolar N is followed by an alveolar T, so the sound is intangible. The last type is assimilation of failure. For example, incomplete. So it happened when alveolar T, T end if they appear before velar plosives so that they become velar. Example, incomplete. The velar N is followed by the velar K, so the sound is incomplete.
My name is Nabila Mahdia. My student number is 23. At this time, I would like to explain about aspiration. So, what does aspiration mean? Aspiration is a process of adding an extra puff of air to a sound. The rule states that aspiration is added to an unaspirated voiceless stop when that stop occurs at the beginning of a word and before a stressed vowel. Aspirated sounds means that air puffing out of the mouth on certain sounds, or we can say that sounds produce the puff of air. There are three aspirated consonants. It's p, t, k. You can use a little piece of paper to see it moves. For example, the word pin, pin, top, and cam or key. Now, let's move into unaspirated sounds. It means that it is not pronounced with the sound of a breath or the letter H. We can use a piece of paper again to see it. For example, the word spy, spy, or spin, steal, sky. There were no moves on the paper, so that it called unaspirated sound. Okay? And the last topic would be explained by Satria.
The last topic is the optional phonological process. Optional phonological process is phonological process that create differences in speech style. There are three types in the optional phonological process. First, optional phonological process may involve change in syllabicity. For example, in the word something, something. The last syllable can be pronounced as thin or thin, thing or thin. Both something and something are correct. You can use both style. It's optional. Second, this process may delay a sound. For example, in the word readily, readily, readily. You may drop the sound in the middle of these words and becomes readily, readily, or readily. And the last, this process may also insert a sound. For example, in the word athlete, athlete. You may insert an sound in the middle of this word and the pronunciation becomes athlete, 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 or athlete. And that's all. It's now your turn to share your thoughts. Let us know whether you understand about our explanation or not by giving comment or question in the discussion section below. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.